I'd like to call the Township of Lopatcong October 5th meeting to order. I would ask that everyone please bow their heads for a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, advertising notice in the Star Ledger and the Express Times, Warren County Zone, and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Roll call, please.
Councilman Del Caro.
Here.
Councilman McQuaid.
Here.
Councilman Polito.
Here.
Council President Wright.
Here.
Mayor Lindsay.
Here. Need a motion to come out of the executive session?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sure. We emerged from executive session at approximately 7:30 PM where we discussed 7 matters, 2 personnel matters dealing with the police chief and the DPW, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attorney-client privilege matters dealing with the municipal court, the website contract, the tax matter, auditor, and Lopatcong Park. No official action was taken. Copies of these minutes will be available at such time as the council determines there is no harm to the public interest.
Thank you. Public comment on agenda items? Agenda items only? John?
Just, it's going in, it's the second reading of the public hearing to adopt the redevelopment plan and requests and definition from the Highlands. Can council or somebody tell me what types of redevelopment will be allowed and what are restricted that won't be allowed? Either now or when it comes up in the order on here.
There'll be a public hearing on that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Just on the agenda items.
Yep. My name is Steve Kiley at 309 Stelco Ave, Block 50, Lot 3. Okay. Any questions for me on that? All right, thank you guys so much. I'm one of the people who's been reconciled with the sewer bill from 2016 to 18. And over the last 6 years, we've been under review and under investigation. Been resident here for 14 years, in which that time my wife and I have not missed a bill on anything, whether it's from our phone bill to our tax bill or whatever. Just these 2 bills when Rachel, was stealing. So we've asked for reconciliation tonight. I do have a checkbook ready to pay what's owed, but we were stolen from. And there's 2 bills in the last 14 years that are not accounted for. They're the 2 that Rachel had stolen. One was a cash payment from when we're under resolution number 5. Resolution 5. One was a cash bill. I was a contractor at the time. My wife came in and paid cash. And another time she looked at ATM withdrawal, which we could prove. The cash we couldn't. So we've incurred interest on this. We were told, don't worry about it. It's under investigation. It's under reconciliation. There's been no reconciliation, so we're still here. Next year we're due, I guess, for a tax. We have no mortgage. We've paid our house off. And like I said, I could get my phone bills. We've never missed a bill on anything in our life. My wife's credit is somewhere around 800. Mine's in the mid 750s. And I'm just asking. I know you guys weren't the mayor and you guys weren't the board when this went on, but can you reconcile a problem that happened from before, please?
Well,
So Mr. Kiley was here last month and we told him that a resolution would be forthcoming. Remember this email?
Right.
But this was with regard to one payment. And so the resolution that's being presented tonight has to do with this plus the interest. There is some second matter, which I wasn't in this email, and I didn't know anything about, and Daniel wasn't in today, so I wasn't able to find out anything. If you want, we can go through with this resolution, and then we'll get to the other matter to figure that out for next month.
Okay, so we're saying half of the bill has been cleared.
By this resolution, right, apparently there's another piece to this, which we weren't aware of last month, so what we'll do is we'll get that straightened out between now and November, and then, so half of it will be handled when they adopt the resolution tonight, and then Beth will check on the information, and then we'll get the other half handled next month.
Is there any circumstantial evidence you need from me? I've made a lot of claims about our, our
We don't know
productivity.
yet, because I don't know what you're talking about, but here's the resolution that you can have what we're taking care of tonight. The payment plus the interest associated with that. I don't know all the facts of the matter that you're bringing forth now, so if we have to do a little investigation after we talk to you or your wife tomorrow to figure out what it is, that
Okay.
we're
So there
going to
were-
look into.
Right, there were two bills. There were two bills that were theft. All our other bills we have receipts for, one was paid in cash, that's why we don't have the one that's still outstanding. So what we're asking, and if there's anything circumstantial outside I can bring with our other bills that we have been faithfully
Well,
paying.
I think obviously it seems like it's gonna be resolved.
Well, yeah, we just have to figure out what exactly it is outside of what is on there.
It's
I
just,
have
it's
no
just a
clue.
second bill. This is a resolution for
Yeah,
the
but I
first.
don't know what the second bill was for. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Or what
Okay.
order it was,
Sure.
or any of that information, which is what we have to look into.
So I think what you're hearing is that certainly the council believed you last month because this is on here, and then this other issue, apparently, whether we missed it or it wasn't brought to we're gonna find out, and I would assume that it's gonna be disposed of the same way.
I appreciate it. Could I just bring a little light of the response from the town? And again, this was not the sewer collector at the time either, was, hey, we could see, we brought an ATM withdrawal to show, look, this is the ATM, $300. Okay, we'll absolve that. The cash one, I can't prove. So she said that one you'll have to pay, which is fine, but it's just, in light of everything that went on back then, I would just hope that you guys could say, in good faith, this is a guy who doesn't miss his bills at all. We can understand that the only two bills that are missed in 14 years are two bills that were in that time period.
Understood, let us follow up and find out whatever, if we need additional information from you, we'll reach out to you.
Okay, great. And so I come back next month then?
Yeah, unless you can call ahead and see if there's a resolution on the
Oh,
agenda
great.
for next month, then you might not even have to show up.
That'd be wonderful. Okay, thank you guys much for your time. It's appreciated.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Agenda item only.
Hi, Michael Sazanoff, 1304 Hyde. Just in terms of number 4, does this have anything to do with the RFP for Township Computer Consultant, or is this something unrelated? Website maintenance contract?
Oh, you're talking about an executive session?
Yes, sir.
On the website maintenance contract?
Yeah, actually, we didn't even get to that. Yeah, I announced it, but we didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
That was removed.
yeah.
So we should remove this from,
Yes.
okay. All right, thanks.
All right, anyone else? Agenda items only. Seeing none, I'll move into old business. Number 1 are the minutes of the September 7th, 2022 executive and regular sessions. Gentlemen, if you have a chance to look at it. Any questions, comments, additions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
I'll second it.
Councilman Belcaro,
Abstain.
Councilman McQuaid,
Abstain.
Councilman Polito,
Yes.
Council President Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Menducci.
Yes. Number 2 is ordinance number 22-08, second reading and public hearing to adopt a redevelopment plan and request center designation from the Highlands. I need a motion to open up to the public.
Motion.
I'll second it. Folks, questions, comments? Mr. Beck?
Basic question, I don't know if you have to answer here or whether you can direct me someplace to find out the answer. What will be what are the allowable redevelopments that can go on in the redevelopment area zone? What are the unallowable?
George?
Yeah, well, the redevelopment plan is basically going to be an overlay district. And what that means is that up until a plan is approved for the redevelopment of the property, the underlying zoning, which is highway business, would continue. In other words, you'd be allowed to do retail, commercial, restaurants, that type of thing. Under the redevelopment option, it's actually a very limited use of uses that can be there. It can be office, various types of offices, and warehouse facilities. And that's the permitted uses. There are no conditional uses. And then anything that is not permitted, anything that is not a permitted use is a prohibited use. So that anything else that it would be proposed on that side would basically be a not permitted.
Not permitted, like truck stops and that
truck stops, well, by the way, it's interesting you brought that up.
That's why I asked.
The prohibited uses in the actual named prohibited uses
Yes.
in the redevelopment district are truck stops, advertising signs, refuge, waste handling, all that type of thing is prohibited. And the storage or use of any types of toxic, hazardous waste collection, storage, transfer is all prohibited
Okay.
outright.
Okay, now I can't remember this stuff. Is there anywhere where I can get that, the document you have, the written, what's in your document there?
Well, it's on file with the township.
Okay.
There's copies available at the township.
Okay, all right. Thank you, appreciate it.
Anyone else, questions, comments? Hearing and seeing none. Motion to close, public session, or public,
Motion.
comment? I'll second
Motion out.
it. Motion on number 2? I'll second it.
Councilman Belcarro,
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid,
Yes.
Councilman Polito,
Yes.
Council President Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Michucci.
Yes, under new business, number 1 is ordinance number 22-09, first reading to grant municipal consent to Comcast to construct, connect, operate, and maintain a cable television and communications system in Lopatcong. I think that's long overdue. I think we can do some competition over here. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilman Belcarro,
Finally, yes.
Councilman McQuaid,
Yes.
Councilman Polito,
Yes.
Council President Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Michucci.
Yes, the consent agenda, items number 1 through 10. If anybody has anything they want pulled, let me know now. If not, I will entertain a motion.
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilman Belcarro,
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid,
Yes.
Councilman Polito,
Yes.
Council President Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Michucci.
Yes, announcements, October 8th, which is this coming Saturday, we'll have our fall cleanup in the pool parking lot and the Streckers Road Firehouse. Any electronics or white goods go to the pool parking lot only. And the cleanup is from 7 a.m. till noon on our DPW, and some volunteers will be on both those sites. So, council reports? Good. Anything for council report?
I do not have anything.
Lou?
I do not have anything.
Okay. Jim?
Thank you. Community Day was a success. A special thanks to Kayla for all the work she did. She had the whole day running like a well-oiled machine. And the town-wide yard sale was also a success. I think we had our biggest participation. I don't know the exact amount. I know it was at least $1,000 raised for the fire department.
Yeah, good.
And that's all. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Wright?
Really don't have too much. The other thing, did we get any, after court yesterday on the trucks? Did we hear anything about them? For, Bell and Howell and Cooper?
Well, Cooper's, I did get a call from an engineer representing them. They do realize that what the use that they're implementing right now is not something that was approved in any of the site plans over the years. And, I believe the owner said that they are going to work on cease and desist from, having any more trucks coming in there. They're going to get rid of them. So they did acknowledge that
All right, cool.
at the court session.
That's huge. All right. And so we're still trying to fight them with Andrew's running around like crazy. He's doing a lot trying to get these trucks and stuff off the road. So I give him a lot of credit. But that's all I have.
All right. In that regard, I did stop up to see the gentleman who leases the property, the old mobile station on Belvedere Road.
Looks like it.
We have not gone after him or the owners of that property for anything, but I did tell him that I expected that place to be cleaned up. Way too many cars that are just sitting there. So that gas station has been there my entire life, but you're still in a residential area. So I appeal to his sense of community for that. We'll see what happens. I know he has taken a couple cars out already. Let's hope that it continues. So We got to keep, and Frank's a great guy, but yeah, sometimes things have just got to be done. In that regard, Chief, the property out on Strikers Road in the Bend, I don't know what's going on there. Another guy races cars or whatever. If there's anything we can do, or we need to have Andrew go out and take a look at that.
We did address it at least one other time, and he seemed to respond very well to it.
Okay.
Cleaned it up, but I do see a lot of things collecting slowly.
Yep.
And it's back up again, so we can address it again.
And the other property that is in my radar is the one, as soon as you make the right on 57, on the left-hand, off of 57 on the Strikers, on the left-hand side there, but I see that property's up for sale. So I'm kind of willing to let that go, but that's another property that's in my radar. So, I don't know what we can do, but to whatever end we can do it legally, we'll do it. So that's all I have. Paul?
Yes, good evening, Mayor. I just wanted to give updates on some of our road projects. With respect to the TAP grant, which is one of the federal aid grants that we have, the DOT has finally approved the plans for that. They have sent it to the Federal Highway Administration to get their concurrence and to get us authorization to go out to bid. So I think that's a positive step here. I did request more money for construction, I think an additional $120,000. I am encouraged by my discussions with the DOT as far as getting that additional money that would take our grant money up to near $440,000. We have $322,000 on that project. So let's keep our fingers crossed. The first thing we're looking for is FHWA to concur with the state's approval of the plans and give us the ability to bid the project at this point. We have a few county comments. The county came back after 2 years with a review letter, and we have to address a few of their comments, but they're fairly minor in nature. On the other federal aid project, which is the Safe Routes to School project, we handled the second set of county comments on that recently. They were pretty substantive, but they're addressed now. The state admitted that they haven't done anything with our plans. We had submitted 2 years ago the plans, and they indicated that once they resolve the TAP grant, they are going to start processing the Safe Routes to School grant project and looking at our plans and getting the requisite approvals for that at this point. That's a grant that's right now is $380,000. I anticipate we're going to ask for more money on that, given what's happened with inflation and increases in costs of materials and labor. So we'll cross that bridge in the future. The plans for Baltimore Street are done. I anticipate submitting to the Department of Transportation in the next 30 days to get their approval so we can go out to bid in the winter and have an early construction project in 2023. The Department of Transportation will be taking action on the latest grants that were submitted, grant applications, I should say. I'm anticipating in November they'll take action on those, and I'm optimistic that we will get funded for the second phase of Bellevue Road to complement what we did here in 2022 with the first phase. So, and then we're working on Stonehenge Drive and extending the improvements on Stonehenge Drive. It's something that will be addressed early next year as part of the construction processes here in the township, doing some bidding over the winter.
And one thing, it just caught out of the corner of my eye on my way over here, like, did we just pay something like Dana?
Mayor, I can't hear you.
Dana, did we just pave that?
Pave it?
Yeah, there was some fresh pavement up here today that I was okay, so either I'm seeing things or somebody did something that nobody knows about.
If somebody opened Dana, it's a no-no. I issued road opening permit to Lynn Jessamine, but the openings were supposed to be on the side streets because Dana was only paved 3 years ago as a moratorium, and that was in my permit.
Okay.
So,
Well, it looked like something was freshly paved.
Yeah.
Again,
Give me an idea where, I'll look at it tomorrow.
if you're going up there, make a right on it. I think
Right,
it's
so the
Dana.
beginning of Dana?
Yeah,
I didn't know it was.
yeah.
and,
Well, it doesn't matter, I just, when I saw it,
He's right.
I thought we were done for the year, so.
and Mayor, just one last thing, and this involved both the chief and I. The water company wants to extend the water main on Strikers Road in Lopatcong Township across the bridge into Greenwich to basically connect two systems together. I think it's a good project for both towns, but they wanted to do so with a detour. The chief and I were totally opposed to that, and we had a meeting with them today, and I think they've gotten the message. And I don't think we're certainly not going to see a detour. I think we might see some alternating traffic, and they even indicated today perhaps both lanes would remain open. This is going to be done through directional drilling, so it'll be small pits set up on either side of the bridge. But the notion of closing the road, I think, is dead right now at this point. The chief and I worked against that, and it's not going to happen. So.
At least they want to pave the whole road, I think.
So thank you, Mayor.
All right. Chief, you got anything else other than our report?
No, sir, nothing else.
All right, thank you. I need a motion to approve the department reports.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approve payment of bills?
Okay,
And bills.
okay,
Yeah.
let's pay them.
Just paying.
Yeah, we have to pay them.
I'll second it.
Councilman Valcarro,
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid,
Yes, one thing that never stops is bills keeps coming in.
Council President Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Mikucci.
Yes.
I called you.
I didn't hear you say, yes.
I was gonna say, I thought I missed one thing about that. Folks, questions, comments? John?
Question, I could approach outside of council, but because Lou and Mr. Polito, because both of you are the rent loving board people, I'm wondering if anything has come, you've been directed, and if you have received anything from Harbor Group, Wrigley Gardens pertaining to anything having to do with our complex recently. Like something like hardships or
No,
costs of
nothing.
gas, nothing like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, but when it does, I will be able to know when there's rent loving board meeting.
If there's something,
Yeah, okay.
Are you
Okay, all right, I'm just,
Should we expect something to come up?
no, all I know is that the price of gas is going up,
Oh,
and I know what,
well, I know that fuel is going up, natural gas is going up 25%.
yeah, I know that Salem Management used to, like, kind of ease back down on
Oh,
the usage.
you mean turn down the thermostat?
They
Is
would,
that what
yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah, because there's no thermostat inside each apartment, they
Right.
turn down the thermostat,
Right.
outside the apartments.
Well, we'll find out when.
Yeah,
it
we'll
comes.
find out, but.
I mean, we had some cold mornings, I'm
That's all I'm
sure.
worried about, is because the price of gas is shooting the roof.
It is.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Jim, thanks, Lou, thanks.
anyone else, question, comments? Right?
I got a couple of things. Just to let you know, this is actually for the chief also. The end of next week, the signs will be going up for no parking, no standing on Strikers Road. All right, so you'll be able to ticket whatever you're gonna do, they're official. All right, so just let you know, Paul. All right.
Are you doing the whole length of Strikers?
Well, I talked to Paul, we're doing certain lengths, and we put up 3 signs on each side. If that don't work, we'll add more. All right, we did the areas that we were expecting, and,
So you're starting from 57,
well, now it's down, if you're coming down from 57, yes. All right, and you hit the new warehouse,
right,
it starts there and it ends at the bend,
okay.
okay? So if we have to buy more signs that go out each way, we'll do that, but we kind of figured that maybe that would, work and give you a start, all right? Because the signs are bigger, you can't miss them, all right, and different things. Your municipal building will be shut down on the outside here tomorrow. All right, they're gonna be ripping up the front pavement, the sinkholes area that's there is sinking. They're gonna be fixing all that, and then it might go into Friday. All right, but then they're gonna come back in, I'm hoping for Sunday and Monday, because we're closed, but depends on how that all works with the weather and how they're making out. All right, we're gonna crack seal and then come in and seal coat. After I seal coat, I need 1 day to keep everybody off it. So what I'm asking is for employees to park out in the road, all right, and down there for tomorrow at least. All right, if anybody's coming to visit, if you're gonna walk in, just be very careful. All
Get
right.
through it.
Yeah, but I wanted everybody to know so that nobody could say that it wasn't out there. All right. The other thing is the house that burnt down on River Road. Should be another week or two max, and that should be coming down. All right, so that's where we stand.
Okay.
All right.
Very good.
All right.
Anyone else, questions, comments? The access to the building.
Just in terms of extra signage, I'm just reminded of the fact, and I think we were going to start the gears turning for another cleanup, as we did with great success that Earth Day weekend. In terms of what's across from 85 Memorial Parkway, we're basically 57 right before the right turn onto Strikers. There's currently a sign that says something like state property, no trespassing.
Yes.
Would it be just because of the amount of things we found there, and the times that I've seen trucks stopped and resting or parking there, would it be considerate of us, or I don't know, because it is such a, it is that state-run, it's kind of throughway highway. So I don't know who would be in charge of it, but would there be a chance for somebody to say, DPW to say, no dumping, no kind of the extra
No
incentive?
littering, right?
No littering. I mean, we found baseball bats, golf clubs, we found all sorts of stuff, and it goes into the train tracks, which becomes quite dangerous for, I don't want that. I don't want an off track because of crap being thrown or fires or something.
can't.
Can we put something on that
I
road?
mean, that's state
State road.
property,
Can we ask?
we could ask.
That would be nice, I think, because why not? I mean, if we're talking about no trucks, no stopping, no truck hangouts or whatever we did call it, eventually, pardon my bluntness or my ignorance on the exact ordinance that we did talk about truck stops, it might behoove us to make that area kind of,
Clean.
yes, sir, exactly.
Maybe a sign with, no littering with, $500 fine.
Whatever's enforceable, I
Whatever
mean,
it
that's
is,
between
if that's
you and the
possible.
state, but I think it might be something. It says no trespassing already, but, so,
I don't know
thank
if they'll
you.
stop anything, but we can try.
Anyone else, questions, comments? Seeing none. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Folks, thanks for coming out.